Have you thought about doing a chin augmentation or chin liposuction, but you're not sure what to expect with the swelling? Hi, I'm Dr. Dominic. Today I wanted to talk to you about swelling associated with those procedures. I have a full playlist pertaining to chin augmentation and chin liposuction, so if you have time, check it out in my bio. Why does chin lipo swelling happen? For the most part, whether you're doing a chin augmentation, which is placing an implant on the chin, or doing chin liposuction, which involves doing a liposuction below the chin and in the what's called the submental area, you're going to get some swelling. The reason why that occurs is that whenever you do surgery, it's basically for the most part controlled trauma. And what ends up happening is the body creates an inflammatory response, which then leads to fluid going into the area that was operated on. That fluid is the swelling that people experience. With both of these procedures, that swelling occurs immediately at the time of the procedure. And then afterwards, there'll be a bit more swelling that occurs. It's during that time period that there's some things you can do to help reduce the swelling. So how do you reduce swelling from chin lipo? The first thing that will most likely be done by your surgeon is placement of a garment or a compression dressing if you have liposuction. With chin augmentation, in my practice, I normally don't put a compression garment unless I'm doing the liposuction. But after the procedure, you can utilize simple things such as ice on the area that was treated for about 20 to 30 minutes on, 20 to 30 minutes off. And I usually recommend doing this for the first 4 to 8 hours. So long as you do this process along with wearing your garment as advised, that should help to minimize the swelling. So how long does swelling last after chin liposuction? Now, the swelling process begins to settle out after about 24 to 48 hours. After this time period, the swelling that's present starts to go down over a period of weeks. Normally, the first week is when things will typically feel the most tight, and then after every week thereafter, it'll start to get better. I usually tell patients who have had either one of these procedures that they will see the final results of the process once they get to about 3 months. So when should you contact your surgeon after having chin liposuction? Things to watch out for during this recovery phase are signs of concern. Now, certainly if you have any concerns whatsoever about anything at all, you should always call your surgeon and touch base with them just to make sure everything is healing up well. In addition, you should make sure you maintain your follow-up appointments. Now, the bigger problem is, let's say you have a bleeding issue. The way you're gonna know that you're having a bleeding issue is that if you start to have increased pain after your surgery, certainly the night of the procedure, or if you start to have increased discomfort and swelling after that first night of the procedure. Other signs that we always often think about is an infection. And signs of infection are gonna be redness, increase in swelling, pain, and then fever. If you have any of these symptoms, then I would advise you to call your physician. Another thing that's important that's often overlooked is diet. When you're recovering during your post-surgical procedure, make sure you try to eat proteins that are good, such as chicken, salmon. Avoid carbohydrates and sodium, because those things tend to cause more swelling and can cause the swelling to linger longer. I would also recommend your activity level to be decreased during this healing process. For the most part, you should not be significantly laid up, for instance, like with a facelift. With these two procedures, you normally should just be taking it easy, maybe doing some computer work at the desk, relaxing at home for a couple of days. Again, discuss this with your surgeon to make sure you're following their recommendations. And the most important thing I would say is certainly following the directions as advised, so that way you get the best result possible.